Thank you for having me today. Appreciate Tim. I shared with Dr. Campos when he came to San Antonio and met with us. When he left our meeting, I just felt very hopeful for our conference. He has a vision and a plan that's unique. He has a different perspective. It's exciting, and really grateful for what he's done today. I'm sorry I was late getting in here. We had our Texas High School Coaches Association in San Antonio, where about 14,000 of my very best friends were all there, so I had to make sure and take care of my guys, and that's why I got in here a little late yesterday. Also, Jamie Hickson does a fantastic job of taking care of us as well, and wanted to make sure I said appreciate that as well. My boss is here, Dr. Campos. It's a crazy that her and I are going on our 5th year together. It's gone by incredibly fast. Also today with us is Oscar Cardenas. Oscar's from our city, from Brandeis. He's played for me in every game since I've been the head coach here. Also, we have Jamal Liggins from Tyler Legacy, who's been a Mike linebacker for us. Oscar plays tight end for us. And Jamal has been a guy that's played in every game for 4 years for me as well. Two wonderful humans that I know they'll carry on the tradition of the legendary Frank Harris and Rashad Wisdom, who we both lost, who I've been standing up here with for the last 4 years. And I'm excited to see the leadership of Oscar and Jamal. Thank you to you guys for picking us second this year. I do think it's a tremendous sign of respect. I tell my players always, this particular team has done nothing. We're getting picked second because of the success of the last 4 years. We're 29-4 in conference in the last 4 years. Our kids have had the opportunity to play to go to the championship game every single year that we've been here, the last game of the year, which is a remarkable stat. We were only successful 2 of those 4 years in getting there and winning it, but we put ourselves in position for 4 straight years. So we're also 23-3 at home. We've only lost 3 home games in the last 4 years. So I'm very grateful y'all picked us second, because I know my first year when we were in Conference USA, we were picked dead last. My daughter made me promise I was not going to be on Barstool Sports, so I'm doing my very best to behave today in front of you guys. Didn't even wear my cap. I tried to look like I'm in church to help me conduct myself better in front of y'all. I'm sure Dr. Campos is relieved of that. But we were picked last my first season with no conference preseason players. So I'd much rather y'all think well of us than not of us at all. So happy to open up questions and answer them as honestly but as tactfully as possible today.
All right, right there in the front.
A.D. Moore, Houston Roundball Review. Coach, how does it feel standing up there without Fred and now moving forward? Are you feeling lonesome? Just give us a quick update, because this kid was there with you every time we've been. He was standing there, and now all of a sudden, you cleaned up and no cap on. What's up?
Well, I seriously took the cap off this morning just to remind myself to behave better. When I get that ball cap on, I sometimes go into ball cap mode, and sometimes speaking in front of the media is not like speaking in the locker room, and I have to remind myself of that at times. Frank is still very involved in our program. He works for Documation in our city. He's probably helped me more with NIL than anybody in our city, because he knows every rich booster in our city, and he believes in the Roadrunners so much. He gets those guys in touch with me. He's a unique kid, and we will miss him, but we're very excited to see where the future. We believe strongly in our triangle of toughness, our brand, our culture, and we feel strongly somebody will step up. You're never going to take the place of Frank Harris. We've just got to figure out a way to do it with him being gone.
Next question will be in the back in the middle.
JJ Perez, Inside Runner Sports. Jeff, I heard you on a podcast say one of your players got offered $600,000 this offseason Can you just speak a little bit about, I guess, the landscape of NIL and the impact on UTSA?
See, if I had my cap on, I'd probably tell you the school that did it. But since my cap is off, I'm going to behave. Yeah, I got to see the contract. I got to read the contract. I got to see it go from 300 at noon to about 500 by 5, and by about 10 o'clock that night, it ended up at 675. The young man stayed. He's a unique individual. I pray that he's rewarded for that. And I don't mean monetarily from San Antonio as much as his NFL career. I hope it's very long. I hope it's very prosperous. And, but yeah, that's a true story. We've been very blessed in our 4 years there. We've only lost 3 players. It'd be very hypocritical of me to not mention we've probably picked up about 30 players from the portal that are very good players as well. So hate that we lost 3, but grateful that we've kept so many of our players. And most of our transfer portal kids are guys we didn't get the first time. You know, they're bounce backs where they knew they should have came and played for me the first time. The money was just so large. They decided playing and winning was more important and being treated a certain way. So we got them the second time around.
To the right in the 4th row.
Hey, Coach. I'm William Goodwin with the Frisco Bowl. We were lucky enough to have y'all come down and win our bowl game last year. I was just wondering, to you personally, what did it mean to get the first bowl win in your program's history to you?
A quick story. Since I had my cap off, I'll tell it more tactfully. One of my best memories of that was when y'all or ESPN asked me how it felt to win that first bowl, and I remember saying, you know, all I could feel was that cold coffee running, you know, down my backside, and Dr. Compos's face of just shock that I had just said another word other than backside. But yeah, that was a great night for us historically. Again, as it's already been mentioned, the rise of UTSA is an amazing story. 13 years we've been playing football, and we've been on the national scene now, you know, for 4 straight years because of some amazing players and a culture that those kids have all created and bought into. There's a lot. I believe we will continue to ascend at that level for many more years because of the city of San Antonio. They understand how important it is. I've said this many times before. I understand when you've only been playing ball 13 years. We have Longhorns that live in our city. We have Aggies that live in our city. We've got Baylor Bears that live in our city. But they all understand that their money they give back to their alma mater, it's important that UTSA does well. So the Roadrunners need to do well for our city, and that buy-in continues and continues as our NIL, our money for our facilities, for scholarships, it's just continued to grow. Season tickets, all that's at an all-time high, and we just keep breaking record after record, and couldn't be more honored to be partnered up with President Amy and Dr. Campos and continuing our vision.
Next question will be to the far right.
Coach Trey Smith, College Underdogs. Looking at your schedule, only 2 Friday night games, and they're late in the season. You know, we know your deep connection to the THSCA and what those Friday nights mean to you beyond college football. What does that mean to you, the schedule laying out that way? And then was that by design or happenstance? Did your advocacy for that influence the schedule at all, to your knowledge?
I don't think I have that kind of stroke. They know I never want to play on Fridays. In Texas, Friday nights is for Texas high school football. If you study our statistics of our crowd in San Antonio, you put us on a good game on a Saturday, you got a chance of hitting 40,000. You put us at a good game on a Friday night, we're going to hit 20,000 because all of our fans are going to go watch their high school, and they should go watch their high schools. It's Friday Night Lights. It's the state of Texas. It's what that night's for. Am I going to be so arrogant not to say it's also a good chance for UTSA to be on national TV on a Friday night? That's the plus side of that, because we're the only game on. So there's a lot of eyes that see us and our brand, our style of ball that they wouldn't have seen. But if I had my ruthers, I'd rather play on Saturday with North Texas and Temple than I would on a Friday night.
All right, back to the center.
Jeff, it feels like the Roadrunners are going to be a trendy pick for the college football playoff this year. What does that say about the state of your program?
Oh, it's flattering. I think it's had to make me readjust a little bit. If you study us the last 4 years, I'd say we're probably a 500 team in the month of September. I'm not factually sure of that, but I would imagine it's somewhere around there. We're in October. I would imagine we're almost undefeated. November, almost undefeated, and very successful winning championship games in the month of December. So why am I saying that? Probably the high school coach in me took a big view of the season early in the year and tried to prepare for the long haul. And now with a chance to really get to go to the playoffs, if you are in one of those spots, which I think we are in one of those spots, that first game against Kennesaw becomes, I hate to say, I don't want to make it too big, but it's a big game, right? Then you got Texas State. You cannot afford to slip up in any game in the month of September. Where in the past, if you gave away a game, it wasn't conference. You started over when conference started. Now with a real chance to go to the playoffs, I think those games in September, and now we have a game in August, have become more important. So Coach Traylor's got to do a better job of getting his team prepared early in the season. And hopefully we can maintain our success in the months of October, November, and December as well.
Here in the second row.
Yeah, Brett Vito, Dent Record Chronicle. Coach, you've had such the epic games with North Texas over the last several years. How has that rivalry developed, and does it become even bigger now with SMU having left the league, as you know, North Texas and UTSA being a great Texas rivalry?
I'm a huge fan of Eric Morris. I mean, he's a Texas high school legend. He played, at a place that's so good, and he won a state championship. So huge fan of Eric's to begin with. It's just a nice rivalry. We're close enough. Both teams have been very good for years now, and I expect that rivalry just to stay just where it is. Very familiar with your quarterback, and Chandler Morris moving in there. I've known Chandler his entire life, so I'm sure it'll be a great game in November. I just wish it was on a Saturday, not a Friday.
Any final questions for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.